Hi there. Thanks for tuning in again. This is Jazz, and this is like a part two to the previous video I did about the Navratri and the Venus retrograde energy. So, really, what I wanted to talk about in this video was a little bit more about the actual sort of goddess therapy. What I wanted to sort of like say about the goddess therapy is that there are so many things that, like one may have problems in understanding in their life. And working with the goddess energy helps you to understand that. So, like, for example, the Navaratri is the 9 forms of the goddess Durga, because there is just one goddess. And in Hinduism, they believe that that goddess is Durga. And the many aspects, all the other goddesses are the many aspects of that, goddess. And so if you break it down, the aspect of Goddess Durga is all about courage. Okay, so, sometimes we may feel that we don't have enough courage to do something, and we lack courage for achieving our goals, or, doing certain things that we've wanted to do. So it can hold us back. And, like if you activate the energies of Goddess Durga, then, it will empower you to find more courage. So you can say that it's like, self-affirmative, but obviously these are kind of very deep, if working with the consciousness of the goddess energies, it's kind of like a very deep sort of shamanic way of working as well. And I often take, my clients off on shamanic journeys, depending on obviously where, they need to work on. And then, like, for example, the goddess Kali, so many people are just so fearful, scared of Goddess Kali, because she wears this garland of skulls around her neck, and usually has her tongue hanging out, and she is quite scary looking. So people obviously get scared and think, that they don't want to associate with Kali. But the reason she's wearing the skulls around her neck as a garland is, in reality, it's where she's used her sword to slay the ego. So it's the death of the ego. And when you have the death of the ego, that is when transformation occurs. And so, with that kind of really deep level of transformation, you cannot go through it without some kind of pain. And so a lot of how she is portrayed and depicted is very much, like when somebody's gone through the stages of pain and they have come out the other end. So it's like a rebirth, a part of you dies, and then there's a rebirth, and then you have these new beginnings. So that's very much like, the Kali energy. Then you also have the goddess Parvati, and the goddess Parvati is very much, sort of like, how devoted are you to anything, even yourself? Sometimes we can say that we're devoted, but how devoted are we? So to anything, to yourself, to other things, to people, to your goals, your dreams, how devoted are you? And if you lack that, Parvati is one of the consorts of Shiva. She's his wife, and so she was very devoted to Lord Shiva, very devoted. And so, you know, you can experience extreme devotion through linking in with the energies of Parvati. And then, you know, like Annapurna, like she's the goddess of nurturing. And sometimes, you know, like these days, some of the women who've got a very masculine side to them, and when I have clients who've had maybe mothers, you know, like that, sometimes they have said things like, you know, that they didn't feel that their mother was very gentle and soft and nurturing, and it could be that, you know, because the mother had to play a very tough role because of circumstances, and, you know, it could be that she herself did not know, and so then when as we grow up and as an adult, when we know that we've been through that experience as a child, we can bring more of that in for ourselves. All right. So, you know, we can call on that energy of consciousness and awareness and bring that in to help us. Then obviously the overall riding factor of all of this, you know, is that every woman needs to feel a sense of empowerment, okay? And this is what has been missing for women for a very long time. It's only sort of like really in the last century that, you know, for the last 100 years, more than anything, that women have really started to come into their own empowerment. This empowerment is the Shakti. Okay, so it is the Shakti, the internal power of each woman. And that's why you may see groups that are all women groups and organizations with the name Shakti, because they're, you know, using that name in support of the women's empowerment and, you know, what they're standing for. And so, you know, like Shakti is something that every woman should possess, should be aware of, and be getting more and more in touch with, because every woman has it. And that is a goddess and consciousness in its own right. Okay. Now the goddesses that I've just been through are only just the goddesses linked to Navratri and the Navratri period. But as I mentioned in the other video, there are many goddesses that obviously are linked to all cultures and countries around the world, and you know, they are, all of them, the consciousness of each goddess is so powerful. I mean, like, you know, the African goddess of the oceans and seas, Yemenia, I think that's how you pronounce it. But anyway, I know it begins with a Y, Yemenia, something like that. So she is so powerful. You know, she rules the oceans and the seas, and anything linked to that level of depth of emotion is just really deep and powerful. And then you've got, like, you know, you've got India on one side, and then you've got like Hawaii, the island of Hawaii. You've also got the goddess Pele, who rules, again, she rules the oceans and the volcanoes, and she is also very much about transformation as well. And Pele is very dear to my heart, because when I was there, I had an amazing interaction with the goddess Pele. Amazing experience, and I can never forget that. So this is what I mean when I talk about, like, working on a deep level of shamanic kind of consciousness with these sort of energies. So if you would like to know more, please contact me. If you would like to have a session, I can do a Skype session on working with the goddess energy. We can work out which area obviously is lacking or weak, and how to work with that to improve, bring about more of an empowerment, and understanding certain rituals as well. Mantras. So a lot of these things, mantras, rituals, things that are connected to the goddess energy, I can, use those to work with you. So, if you feel drawn to this kind of work and you would like to know more, and if you're, not in my country, you're in another country, I can definitely do a Skype session with you. That's not a problem. So yeah, a very powerful time, this Venus retrograde as well, and Navaratri, and this time of the year, with the moon, the planets, everything, getting in touch with our divine feminine energies is, really important, really, really important. And it's there to kind of like help us to evolve and go that one step, further from where we were before. So I look forward to hearing from you soon, and take care, and be the Shakti that you are. Shakti, remember that. You are Shakti, okay? All right, until we speak, take care.